Yo, 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 welcome back to my channel. This is your boy James, and we are at Watch Your Mouth Reviews. I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it's not going to happen, y'all, but that's all right. Joining me today is my bestie, Mrs. Best. She is going to be co hosting with me. This week we are going to finish up Belle Collective. Tonight we're going to do House of Villains and Last for Housewives of Potomac, and then we are going on vacation. I think I have one video to do while I'll be doing this solo for the first time. Mrs. Best will not be here with me, but we'll be joining back
It's not the first
after.
time. He been doing this, y'all. Go check out his horror movie review. Stop
Yes,
playing.
but then also next week going forward, we'll be back live after Thanksgiving, y'all. We gotta, go on a little vacation, but y'all will be all right. So if you read the caption, Belle Collective is back. This is season 4, episode 1. We are happy this show is back. They took a little hiatus back in September, so now it's November and they are back. Own does some weird episode like chronological ordering, so we apologize. I thought this was a leave off of season 3, but no, season 4, episode 1 from what they've announced. So hey,
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
just
know
gonna go
that.
with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it because it was really weird.
Okay.
So in terms of that, I want to talk about the opening scene, which we have Tambra over there. She is finally announcing that she is pregnant, but it was a rough journey for Tambra being pregnant because Tambra had over 30 fibroids removed. Which, if you guys know the female anatomy, that is insane.
Hmm.
An insane amount of fibroids to remove out of one body.
She was in pain because fibroids
Yes,
hurt. That shit hurts.
absolutely. Fibroids hurt, and it is probably one of the most painful things that you can go through on top of wanting to conceive a child because that will get in the way. So we are happy that Tambra was able to have them remove, able to conceive, able to carry. I think they said she's had the baby already from what I've
Yeah,
heard.
she just had the
So
baby like a
she
few
just
weeks
had the baby.
ago.
Yep. So we want to say big congratulations to Tambra. We are so happy for you. However, I got to throw a little shade into Tambra way. Tambra, I don't know what made you so giggly like that. Maybe you was just excited, but I'm gonna need you to stop laughing like that. You sound like an Azuzu trying to cold start. I am need.
I
I can't.
wasn't
With that, I
ready.
can't. I cannot do.
Wait.
I cannot with that laugh. Like I like Tambra. If you don't cut that shit out,
Can I
what
ask
is
a
that?
question?
Yes.
Like, the laugh did drive me crazy, and I was like, I'm not gonna say it because what if no one noticed? But I'm glad you said it because it
No,
drove
that
me
was the only
crazy.
thing I noticed in this whole scene.
But my thing is, she's okay. So she is a geriatric pregnancy. I am not saying that shade. Hell, I
Mm,
am.
right.
But so she had fibroids. So in order for her to have this baby, and I heard them speaking about her trying to go through the freezing and the egg retrieval, things like that.
Hmm.
So I'm like, so this had to have all been in motion. So was all that shit talking about you need your own apartment from Damon bullshit from just a season ago? Because how do you go from not wanting to be with the man or live with him to happily having a child? That's a planned child. So
Like I told you, I said I wasn't gonna go in on Tambra this first episode. I'm
I
gonna
just
stick
was
to my I'm gonna
confused.
stick to my word, y'all. Y'all know I am not a Tambra fan on this channel. We are not Tambra fans on this channel. I do not like her. I don't think that she's genuine. I've had to defend her a time or two last season. I'm not doing it again. So we're gonna leave Tambra alone. I am so happy for her. I congratulations, Tambra, once again. I am so happy that you were able to overcome what a lot of women cannot. I am so here for this. I cannot wait till you show your little baby girl, boy, whatever you had. And we are just happy for you. We're happy that whatever this situationship with the Mund, whatever this is, we hope that it lasts and continue and that it flourishes. That's all I'm going to say about Tambra. Do you have anything you want to add with Tambra?
No, sir. I agreed with everything.
Okay, I do want to also thank shout out to the doctors and everything. Y'all were really showing a lot of compassion and happiness for her, and it looked very genuine. We are really happy to see that because you guys know that that's not always the case when it comes to physicians and particularly Black women. So we are so happy that they're showing a difference of TV that we don't always get to see. So I do want to shout out to them for doing that. All right. So moving it along here. So the next scene that happens is that Gucci. Oh wait, Sophia Shante and Letitia meet up at a cowboy inspired little boutique. They're buying hats and cowboys because apparently there's a rodeo in town that Sophia Shante and JJ are inviting everybody to. And basically, you know, Sophia Shante tells Letitia that she invited everybody, including Latrice. And it starts this conversation up about how Latrice was at Letitia's brunch and how she seemed drunk, and they were talking about her speech. Now, someone sent me a clip, which I have to remember to find that DM so I can send it to you, of what Latrice actually said at the brunch. And when I listened to it, because the whole thing was Letitia felt that Latrice offended people by saying nobody wants to work a 9 to 5. Now, when I listened to her, what she actually said, because she did say that, but she said it in a way where it was relatable. She was inspiring people to get their businesses because remember, she started her business with just $300 and it just flourished into a multi-million-dollar business. Those things do happen. So that's where she was coming from, trying to be relatable. That if you have an idea, be passionate about it. So this whole them trying to pigeonhole her into this whole ghetto-fied, whatever they were trying to call her in this scene, it just to me was such a bad look, especially coming from the woman who we can't even verify actually sells property in Jackson, Mississippi, but maybe the property management over there at Sheldon Oaks over there. So I'm not going to play with Sophia Shante like that, like because that really did piss me off that she brought that up in the scene. How did you feel, Mrs. Best?
So Gucci, Sophia, Shantae, Letitia. Listen, Letitia needs to focus on taking her spironolactone 50 milligrams, preferably for her PCOS, to help her figure some things out. As for uh, so Gucci, they just looking for I don't take anything they say about Latrice. I don't know why I'm saying Patrice. I don't take anything they say about Latrice anymore, like to heart, unless they're like just really being like extrally disrespectful to where it's like, whoa, this is not okay. They don't like her, and I think they're jealous of her, especially those two right there. Sometimes the people, especially females, the female that calls you her sister and acts like she's the closest to you is the one you need to watch the most. So I don't trust Letitia. I said this in his last recaps from the previous season. I said Letitia is not a nice girl. She is a mean girl. She is one of the mean girls. So I'm not surprised. And I also understood, like, ooh, I feel like my whole camera shook. I understood what you were saying that you got from that clip, even without having to see it. If you watch what aired on Belle Collective at Letitia's little event, like when she said that, they showed the crowd, the cameraman, and they probably did it because they knew these bitches were gonna, find a problem. They laughed. The audience giggled. And I'll say it again: who the fuck wants to work a 9 to 5? I don't.
Right.
So
Like nobody wants to. Let's keep it real. We understand that we need that to happen in order for the world to go around. We totally get that. But the problem is there are some people who do that and are miserable because they have talent. I am an author. I have 2 books. I have written 27. I would love them all to see the light of day and not have to work a 9 to 5 just to survive. I would love for my books to take off in a way where it provides for me financially, where I don't have to work someone's 9 to 5. I can literally go on my book tours, make appearances, do the things I really would like to do, and inspire other authors who really have a hard time getting their books out or really having a hard time with direction to help them based on what I already know.
listen, nothing's wrong with what Latrice said, because let me tell you this right here, Letitia. Nobody would want to come to your fucking event if they wanted to work a 9 to 5. The event is supposed to be to inspire entrepreneurship so that you can avoid working a 9 to 5. So, how are you upset and claiming guests are upset because they don't want to work a 9 to 5? You didn't want to work a 9 to 5 either, because according to James, you had a Buick and you signed up for this show so that you don't have to do one. So that's
I
stupid.
said Buick. I said she had a Honda Odyssey 1997. That was what
Ooh,
Alexander
child, that's
Rogers said.
worse. That's
That's what
worse.
Alexander Rogers said on one of the recaps I was watching. He was on a panel. It was funny as hell. And I took it and ran with it because it
Listen, not
was
the Honda Odyssey. I'd rather have a Buick. At least I could put rims on that shit. But not the Honda Odyssey. But either way, you get the point. Her event is so that people working 9 to 5s can get out of it. And
exactly. Like
and so it's
I
okay
don't
to hit her.
understand what the big deal is, even if it wasn't an entrepreneur, inspirational, inspired event. Like I don't care. Like nobody does. That's the truth. Nobody wants like in a real life human mind. Nobody wants to get up and work a 9 to 5, get up every day, do the same things. There are people out there who really do aspire, and that's why I was like, y'all are wrong for this. Like, and the whole episode seems to be a Latrice hate campaign because the next
It
scene
was.
there was something else that happened that involved Latrice. So we go to the next scene and we see Marie and we see our girl Essie. Y'all know Essie is one of my favorite people on this show. I absolutely love her to death. I want her and Marie to get married and just live happily ever after. I
That'd
do. I
be
know that
fun.
they won't, but I just love Essie and Marie's dynamic. I do. And I feel like Marie would be likable if that were to happen, but I know it's not. And I know people don't want everyone saying she's not gay. And I'm like, okay, whatever y'all say.
She has to be if she thought that BBL would attract a man.
I'm not doing this with Mrs. Best today. But anyways, Letitia bring her ass up in that office. And they have a sit down, they start talking, it was pleasantries. And Marie brings up an interview that Latrice did, saying that all these women were her co-workers. Now they all don't. Now Marie don't feel any kind of way about this, but she felt like Letitia should because you went to bat for her and compromised our relationship behind it. And I said, Marie, you slice level dog, you. I
She's
see what you're
always
doing.
gonna find a way and a way.
Yes.
She don't even
Why?
need the inch. She just needs.
Hmm. Yeah, like why are you making it your mission to ruin this friendship with any and everything? Like to me, if you did an interview and we in a collective of friends, and I've known you for a long time, and you did an interview, you said these are my coworkers, even though I'm on the cast, I know firsthand I'm more than a coworker. So I'm not going to even take offense to that because
She
she's
said, "I
right.
that's my
In
worst."
that moment, we are on camera, we are coworkers.
I
But
think
I
a
know
good
deep down,
example of that is Kenya Moore. Since she has been on Atlanta Housewives, has done interview after interview, even in her confessionals, and to the women, we're coworkers. And the
we
ones who
are.
know, and the ones who ain't coworkers, it is what it is. Who cares?
Like into our example, we business partners, which
Mhm.
is a form of co-working. We are both working on this channel, but I know we get off this and we get on the phone with each other. This is my best friend, so I'm not gonna take offense if she said, well, me and my co-worker on Watch Our Mouth Reviews was doing this show. I'm not gonna take offense to that.
That's,
So
in my opinion, Marie using. I don't know. Sometimes I've
no,
had
you
experiences where
say
people working in like mental health use some of the little things they learned about the mind in their own little way.
mm-hmm.
I think that Marie does.
Predicated on her self-esteem. Just say it.
Yeah,
Predicated on her
yeah,
self-esteem
yeah.
because that's exactly what she did.
That's what she did.
And what she did, and then how she did it was she showed her the interview to make her physically see it.
She had Essie show it.
Yeah, Essie showed to
And I
physically
didn't like
see
that
it.
either. Why you got Essie doing your dirty work? Like,
Right.
really, if you
Leave
are gonna
Essie out of
be,
this. Like Essie
we
ain't trying to.
already know you don't like this woman, and you're gonna do
Right.
everything you can since this show's creation to make Latrice not look good. So it's like you may as well just show her because that's all it was. I feel like Marie just sits hoping to find shit out about the people that she doesn't like, and then waits to use it. Because she was like really excited talking about that. I'd be paying attention to that. It's not just what you're saying and how messy it is. It's like how comfortable and excited and happy are you to be bringing this mess? And Essie just looked like, I mean, y'all bitches got to figure it out. I like her, but Marie was like, yeah. So now what, nigga? And I'm just like, girl, calm down. Let your friend.
Right. This is so gonna slap you in the face one day, Marie. You just do not know. You just don't know what you really putting yourself up against. So now the next scene we have Latrice and Tambra meet up, which was so odd to me once again because I have not seen these two really interact with each other much. So they meet up and basically begin talking about, what's been going on with them. We know that Latrice had some health issues where she's had a lot of bleeding and everything. And Tamber says, I can 100% relate. I forgot what the issue was. Was it the fibroid issue? It wasn't the fibroid. It was something else.
It was something. I didn't
I
fully
can't,
check
I
it.
can't, y'all forgive me.
I
I
think they
know
were
I was,
talking about IVF and going through that process.
right. Okay. Because Latrice thought she was pregnant. That's what it was. Okay. Thank you. Because I was like, oh, what's this again? But yeah. And Tampera basically said in her confessional she didn't want to let any of the girls know that she's pregnant yet, but what she wanted to do was say, she speaks on some board that talks about women's journey through pregnancies and how she can completely relate to her. And I thought it was a cute little scene. Like, I really felt like, I'm glad that they're able to bond. I wish Tampera would have told her she was pregnant because maybe it would gave Latrice some sense of hope. But then again, I'm kicking myself in the back of my foot right now because I don't want Latrice to end up pregnant by Uncle Clifford over there. So we ain't finna even go there. But that was pretty much that scene with them. So the next scene we get is the whole rodeo. We see JJ and little twigs of ponytails he got in his head, and he got a cowboy hat on. They all look ridiculous. Everybody shows up. The trees and Cliff show up first, which was, interesting enough because I didn't think they were going to even show up. But they showed up, they, give each other hugs and stuff and act like nothing's going on. Aikisha and Willie show up, and I had forgot Aikisha was even on the show. But because all we saw last season of Aikisha was her in her house the entire time. Her in her house with the kids. We tired of Aikisha. Tamber shows up. She's hugging everybody. Her and Aikisha surprisingly hug and are pleasant. I knew they had a conversation, but I didn't feel like the conversation went anywhere. I just felt like it was the same old, same old. Then we see, Letitia and Glenn show up, and I was like, oh wow, okay, here we go with the fuck shit now. Here they come showing up together. And I've forgotten it's I looked on Instagram that they had gone back together celebrating 20 years. And I said, y'all just gonna play in our faces, ain't you? So everybody pretty much is there except for Marie. Marie hadn't shown up, so she missed the whole rodeo show. So as they're watching the rodeo, Cliff goes over and moves next to Glenn because Glenn called him over there. And Letitia's like, why you call him over here? I don't want him over me. And it was like, I understood what she was saying. But at the same time, you sometimes have to grit and bear it because as long as he ain't sitting on your lap or sitting next to you, you shouldn't have a problem with him being above you because he was just a few feet over. So, I can tell you're panting. What do you want to say, Mrs. Best?
I just don't like her, Letitia, at all. At all. Like, at all. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't take people seriously like that. People like that make people like myself and my spouse who are not perfect, but actually put the effort to like work toward the marriage without like doing what she. I don't like bitches like her. I just don't like Letitia. I don't
I'm
know what it
starting
is.
like it's crazy. I used to like her, but I don't like her now, and I think that it's because you playing in our faces. Because whatever it is he told Glenn obviously didn't work. Because you ended up back with him. So what the fuck does it matter now?
You got
But
your friend arguing with this man and all the shit that happened last season just for you to end up back with him. I know girlfriends do that and all of that, but it's different when it's like
oh, we gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I know what you're talking about. We're gonna get to that.
I don't like Letitia to trip on Glenn or which one Cliff. These fucking simple names to trip on Cliff sitting next to you. Grow up.
Right.
That's what I'll say to
That was so
Letitia.
silly.
Grow up. You can be near
Yeah.
someone you don't like and just you don't
And
have
they
to
act
talk
like
to
they
them.
ain't even there. All you do is act like he wasn't even there. That's all you had to do.
Right.
So
He's
later that
slow.
night, they meet up for dinner. They were at some, I think, barbecue place or something like that. Marie finally shows up. She said she's sorry she missed the rodeo. One of her babies had a dance recital. I think it was the little girl who had the dance recital.
Mhm.
And she sat next to Latrice, Cliff, and Tambra. Now, mind you, she has beef with Tambra over some bullshit she started. And we all know with Latrice, we all know what that situation is. It's been ongoing since the beginning.
Mhm.
So she also on the right of her is sitting next to Glenn, who she recently had a situation with, and Latrice. And so they bring that up. And they bring it. She brought it up in a way where she was all like, "Aren't you going to order for your woman?" And he goes, "Marie, mind your business.
For
This
real.
this is between me and my girl." And she goes, "Oh, now she your girl and everything, but she wasn't there when y'all were having that situation. What about the other girl?" And I said, "Marie, this ain't the time, baby. This ain't the time." He goes, "Why are you worried about that? You want her or something?" It was like, oh my God, why you have to go there with it, Glenn? Come on now, y'all. Now you
No,
doing too
no,
much.
no. Listen, people just don't understand. When you married, you will fucking get it to those who are not. She had that man entirely fucked up. I don't give a damn what he's done and with who he's done. Okay? Or who he's done. What paternity test he's passed, what paternity test he has failed. If it ain't your relationship, it ain't your business. Now she has a business. Marie needs to mind her black owned business because I promise you, if she decides to come out with Essie or if she decides to get her another man, whatever the hell, if somebody did the same thing to her, she would have a problem with it. Why are you questioning my husband? And this is why I don't like Letitia, because if you choose to be back with your man after what he did and y'all are still married, then it's your job to put your friends in check for how they talk to him. I wish the fuck you would sit down at a dinner table and say to Josiah, so you can't let her, or like, whoa. I understand you're on TV, but I think you gotta respect
Well,
people's
first of
relationships.
all,
Like,
I would
stay out of
never
their
insert
business.
my. First of all, I wouldn't even have it. I don't even insert myself in married people business. I
He
learned in
has
my
common
twenties.
sense.
I
Gentlemen.
learned in my twenties that that is never okay to do, because what ends up happening is they go back to the motherfuckers, and then here you go, got to remember all the
Agree.
bullshit that I no, I that's what you want to do. I would have sat there, ate my food, shut my ass up. Hey Latrice, hey Tambra, come on, let's go
And then
talk
to
and
bring
let's try
up
to
your
make up.
friend's cheating, don't you think that's hurtful to her for you to like bring that up?
No, no. Here's the thing, and this is why I'm saying I don't think that's hurtful. I think she needs reassurance that this happens, because she always seems. Letitia reminds me of someone who always needs one up on somebody. She
Yes,
reminds me of that kind of person. So no, I think that that was exactly what she wanted Marie to do, because it's leverage. He always has to eat that shit. So no, it's leverage. I'm telling you, that's
that's
what it is.
shameful. If that's the only way you
Yeah,
can
that's crazy
feel
to me
you
that
have
you would
your
do
way
that.
in your relationship, leave Letitia. You got your business. And she doesn't need him no more. So she has to like it.
Yeah,
Cause
exactly. So the argument ends up turning into, him going over there with Cliff, and they talking with the men and stuff. And so Marie moves over down to Letitia, Aikisha, and Gucci. Sophia Shante for those, I'm gonna go back and forth with that. But what ends up happening is, they talk about the situation, but then they bring up Latrice once again, who's, and mind you, Latrice is sitting way on the other end of the table. So I'm sure she can hear them. And she was just saying, she recently did an interview where she's saying we're co-workers, and Aikisha with her messy ass said, "Oh yeah, me and her are definitely co-workers. But y'all not, y'all are friends." And she goes, "I don't feel that way." And it was like, see, Letitia, this is what we be talking about. This is what we be talking about. The problem with you is that your self-esteem is so like squashed when it comes to this man that it questions any relationship you would have with somebody else based on what he did. We're not stupid. We know how this looks. We know what you're doing. Like Ayana said, I know exactly what I'm looking at. So it just makes me mad that you let these women, Marie particularly, and also Sophia Shate over there, really persuade you into thinking that this girl really wasn't your friend and that she doesn't look like you or value you in that way. So let's bring up the conversation in the final scene of the episode. After dinner and everything, Latrice goes to Letitia's business, mainly just to help her. She has a public speaking engagement coming up, and she needs, some pointers, and she's going to her friend for help. And it starts off pleasantries, and then Letitia brings up, the actual interview. She says, "I thought we were better than that. I thought we had an actual friendship." And Latrice is taken back because she was like, "Wait a minute, we do. Like, what's going on? I wasn't talking about you." And we all knew that. We all knew she wasn't talking about her. But the problem with Letitia is she's let her insecurities of what happened with Glenn reflect on her other relationships. So when you slight her in a way where it wasn't really a slight, but she took it as that, she's going to end up putting you in those same categories he was once in. So it basically turns into a whole screaming match, and Latrice gets in her feelings. She goes, "Fuck them other bitches. They don't ever do nothing for me, and all this and that. All they do is have my name in their mouth and anything." And I said, Latrice, I feel you, but at the same time, I wouldn't have gave Letitia all that energy. I wouldn't have gave Letitia all that energy because what you did in that moment was you just validated her point and you walked right into it. I don't think Latrice is stupid. I just think that she really does not have a way to be, I think, complacent in her thought process. I would have listened to her. I would have took what she said and I'd have said noted. How I feel about you, you're my friend, and there's nothing that would change that, not even an interview. So if you feel that way, then we don't need nothing else to speak of. And I now see you for what you are. And I would have turned it right back on her because those kind of people, you have to turn it back on them in order for them to really understand that you really didn't mean that. And you need to show the hurt that they have now caused by listening to the influences of the other women on the cast. How did you feel about that scene?
Um, I don't know. I think it's all stupid. I think Letitia's a bully. I still stand by that, and I agree with what you said. If I think Letitia, well, I don't think she's like a bully intentionally. I think she's a follower. I think Marie is a bully, but
Yes.
I think
Yes.
Letitia's a follower. It seems like she wants to be popular. She's definitely a pick me girl, and it shows. If you know your friendships, you're secure in them, little stuff like that won't bother you. And if it does, you'd be able to talk it out and move on from it. Um, I think the best thing she could have done is just like you said, respond calmly and turn it back around on her. Because I also feel like Letitia do shit with Latrice sometimes just so that she can have camera time. Because I feel like in the first episode we should have gotten like an update as to what the hell going on with you and Glenn. But instead you want to focus on that. So I don't know why being a coworker is a bad thing. Some of the greatest friends I have in my life are coworkers. So,
Same. Same.
it is what it is. They just looking for a problem and they found it. While Latrice doing all of that going off, I don't think that it proves any point. I don't think Letitia had a point. I think it just shows what Latrice has shown and said for a little while now. Like, they don't like me. She talked to Letitia last season. You don't really defend me. They don't like me. They've been coming for her for seasons. So I don't think it's validating nothing. When you treat people like shit, they're going to refer to you as coworkers and not their friends. So then, my opinion, the cast is mad at their own treatment of her. Um,
Pretty much.
yeah, it's really that simple. And I hope that Latrice figures out how to appropriately respond to them because every moment that she gets upset, she gives them what they want. So, you know,
I could agree with you more.
I'd sit there
So
and not say shit.
I
Just
wouldn't
let
have said
her
anything.
talk.
I just let her go off because at the
Like
end
a
of the
mute,
day,
just sit there.
yeah, just because it's redundant. Like you know damn well that's not what she meant in that interview. And how dare you bring this up to me in this way where you gonna sit up there because you know this was preconceived. You knew you had influences in your mind, Marie and so Gucci over there with them dentures talking about this. Shout out to my Mrs. Best for calling that out because you didn't think I was gonna let a review come. You didn't think I was going to, yeah, you didn't think I was going to go over a review without mentioning that you keep saying that about that lady.
That's what it looks like. Her mouth, you could see like
You can't. I think she may have got implants now because I couldn't tell this time around. She looked like she did get implants, but yeah, that season she did it like her Flixa didn't glue it all the way up, and that's what happened. So with that being said, y'all, that was Belle Collective. This was an okay episode. They were just kind of filling in the loose ends, but they really didn't do much of nothing. But it was entertaining enough for me to keep going with it. I do like this series or this franchise, so I'm going to keep it going. But that's it, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. We are going over to do House of Villains next. It's going to be another short recap because I have shit to do. So I'm trying to hurry up and get this done. So we gotta, keep it moving. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Mrs. Best, thank you for joining me on this recap. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.
wow.